Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
This time they'll just keep this on the ground, and they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one, maybe not the hard-fought battle many had hoped for. This has been blowout city thus far, but still more football to be played. Who knows what?
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This one taken from the 7. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
50 seconds to Mike. 5. 50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
57. Orbit. Check. 57.
In by Harris. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Franco Harris. 36 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
It's hard to find teams that carry a fullback on their roster nowadays in the modern NFL. But Franco Harris, truly one of the greats to ever play that position. Found the end zone 91 times in his career. I know he was listed as a fullback, but he carried it like a tailback.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Ready up. Check. He's coaching. Spell. Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get too.
Manning now on 1st down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Reggie White on the sack there, showing the explosiveness that led him to the Hall of Fame. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
That'll be caught by Rice. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at the 33. A great return there. Bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Black 20. No foul. Hey, Foxtrot.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And it'll be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP. Coach of the Year, John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill. No surprise there.
Not to mention the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, the credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because that represents the totality of a player in the NFL, not just what they do on the field, but off the field as well. And that goes to Calais Campbell, the defensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a great award. Congratulations, Calais.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a... Took that in one-handed. What a grab. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. And taken right at the 35. And he's loose again. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. A punt return of 65 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question, because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. The Pats at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd and 11 now. Madden. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. It's fielded at the 45. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they've got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside the 10. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. Michael Vick, he's going to go. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being perceived.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To try again after the sack. Manning, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. And to give this time to the tailback. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will get into the end zone. It's ugly. And my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over.
And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And Michael Vick, he's going to go. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
Partner, they're up big. They snap the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT, yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on here?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that. They fake the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for the great one, Jerry Rice. And it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Shazier picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Bravo! 43, 43. Check, 43. Here we go. 43 is the mic.
Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. That's complete right around the 8. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Easy. No spacing. Mike 57. Hey, seam 6.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Go. Mike's 43. Middle. Here we go. 43 is the mic. Hey, keep it up. 43 is the mic.
Now it's Roethlisberger. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise as his guys continue to pour it on. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them.
Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
One final try now from Manning. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
We call that sack block.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Join the discussion on Twitter at EA Sports_MUT.